So from my perspective, I sort of see like all of these advantages. I don't see any disadvantages of having a relationship with God, right? Except maybe some of us might think, oh, I might have to do a bit of crying or whatever. So what? Like, comparison to all the advantages, what's the point of worrying about how much crying you're going to have to do? Nothing like a good cry, yeah, exactly. So the reality is that our relationship with God, and actually myself and Mary the other day, we just listed all of these different advantages of having a relationship with God, just over the period of about a half an hour or 40 minutes or so. And we wrote some of them down, which we've included in an outline that is downloadable on the net, or will be once I've loaded it. We come up with 5 pages of 27 things in that period of time of advantages and benefits of having a relationship with God. And many of them I have not covered in this discussion. So my suggestion is to, once that's on the web, just to download it and have a look at those particular points with regard to that. Because you'll find there is just so many benefits to having a relationship with God. Many of them are physical, spiritual, soul-based in nature. A lot of them are to do with your own pleasure, and a lot of them to do with the pleasure of other people in terms of in the universe that you will meet. And a lot of it is to do with being in harmony with everything around you and understanding everything around you. And so my feelings are, if we fully engaged the idea that there are eternal benefits to us engaging a relationship with God, we would be far less resistive to engaging the relationship than we currently are. So we would instead of putting it as like 3rd, 4th, 6th, 10th on our list of things we do today, we'd be putting it as number 1 thing we do every day. You know, we wouldn't, and we'd also be finish up in this state where we're trying or attempting to engage this relationship with God every moment as we're doing other things. And we become great multitaskers in that way, but by actually engaging the relationship with God while we're engaging the rest of our life. And that's what I meant in the first century when I said, all these other things will be added to you. There's a quote you'll read in the Bible sometimes, it says, seek first God's kingdom and all these other things will be added to you. What I actually said was, seek first God's love and all these other things will be added to you. And when I said all these other things, I specifically meant every single thing you could ever conceive of that you could possibly enjoy for the rest of your life can actually be added to you just by engaging this relationship with God. The relationship with God can bring you everything else. Everything else you've ever desired, ever wanted to experience, that was loving in its underlying desire and sincere and pure in its desire, you will be able to experience through this relationship with God if you engage the relationship with God. If you don't engage the relationship with God, then it will be a trial and error process, just as most of our lives currently are. The trial and error process as to what makes us happy and what makes us unhappy. And as a result of that, it will take much longer for us to actually enjoy and experience the things that we could possibly experience. So my suggestion is to allow yourself, sometimes what I feel is if you allow yourself to really just sort of think about and feel about what I suppose most people today would call meditate upon, the concept that a relationship with God can bring you everything else, and then make a list of all the things you've ever wanted in your life and ask yourself the question, how does a relationship with God bring me that? And you'll find there's an answer to every one of those statements that you've made if you engage that process. The beauty of doing that is you eventually appreciate inside of yourself how important it is to engage that relationship as first priority. When we put it as our second, third, or some other priority, we are automatically reducing our own effectiveness in growing, automatically. And to me, that makes no logical sense whatsoever. If we engage instead the first thing that's going to bring us everything else, then and put all of our effort and our emotion and our will into engaging that, then of course we're going to reap the benefits of that much more rapidly than if we engage that down on our list. So that's what I would love to encourage each of you to do.